Jace. Good morning, guys. If anyone's still here hanging out, we're going to dive into A Course in Miracles. Selena, let's see, Jace says Selena's greetings. Just give me 1 second. A few things on my mind. One is what I wrote about this morning, which is the futility of seeking. Being any kind of a seeker, let alone a spiritual seeker, keeps us on the path of seeking, which is a self-perpetuating path that has no ending. Because the ego, the false belief of who we think, who we believe, and who we act, we are. Sorry, hold on, guys. Doesn't want its own annihilation, doesn't want its own destruction. And to seek who and what we truly are, which is ultimately love itself, means that we see through the ego. Doesn't mean that we, at least in this eventuality, end the ego, or even end our belief that we are ego. It means that we take it lightly. We see right through it. No longer taking ourselves so seriously. Hey, Big Al. Big says, morning, everyone. Not going to be a good day for me. What's up, Big Al? Anything we can do to help make it a little bit better for you? At least on some good news, you are at 100 subscribers. Well done. Jace waves at Big Al. Big Al's waving back at Jace. Says, hey. So, in chapter 12 on what's titled the Holy Spirit's Curriculum, there's a little chapter there that says, or a little section, seek and do not find. That's the path of the ego. Seek and do not find, to keep you as a perpetual seeker, because that keeps you one step removed from actually realizing who you are. As I wrote this morning, I love the directive as offered by Saint Catherine of Siena, a great Italian mystic who said, every step to heaven, every step to the way of heaven is heaven. I love that. Every step on the way to heaven is heaven. What's up, Skits? Good morning. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Take care. Keep smiling, spread love, and be happy. You too, my friend. I hope you are still inspired, writing good music, and hopefully we'll see something from you soon. Hey, Lucy. Lucy says, hey, what's up, Lucy? Hey, Danny. Danny, what's up? Danny says, good morning, Yogi, my friend. Hey, Danny, how's the weather for you? Are we going to get some fishing live streams anytime soon? Big Guy says, well, Yogi, I have gallstones. I'm sorry. Had them for a while. Operations 4 days before my birthday next month. But I've been woken by pain at 4 a.m. and at 8:50 a.m. So it's trying to control. It's trying to control the pain. Oh, I can understand that. Sorry about that, Big Al. Hey, when's your birthday? What day is your birthday? Let's see. Everyone's saying hi. Danny says sunny at the moment. End of spring, we'll get some fishing. Lucy says, hey, Jason, Danny. Yep, Danny says, tonight your clocks go forward. I say, yeah, they do. A lot of people aren't happy with that because you lose an hour of sleep, and it causes all kinds of havoc. They've actually shown, they've had studies. Traffic accidents and fatalities are increased every year on this time because people are already on a whole sleep deprived. So to actually detract an hour just adds to it, you know. Big Al says end of April 29th, and I will be 29. I will be 29. I'm old. Hey, my birthday is April 17th, and I'm going to be 60. I would literally be double your age plus a year. That's old. Hey, Amanda. I remember turning 30 well. At 30, I had been training. I was training for powerlifting. I had trained for a big lift. Not a competition, but I wanted to do it in the gym. It's 305 pounds. I missed it, and I was really unhappy. I was convinced at age 30 my heavy lifting days were over. I was never going to get any stronger. It was only a few weeks after that I hit 320. So little did I know. You know, by the age of 35, I was no longer powerlifting, but I was Olympic lifting. By the age of 40, I was kettlebell lifting. By the age of 45, I was ultra running. By the age of 50, I did my first 100-mile race. Life keeps unfolding in some pretty miraculous and wonderful ways. My advice at the age of 60, relax, surrender, enjoy the mystery. Let's see, Danny says, for me, they can leave the summertime on and stop wintertime. Me too. Me too. It's good to say, Jace, hi chat. Eric, some of my music is not made for YouTube, so I'm going to post the explicit ones on another platform. Hey, let us know what platform. Lucy says, messes up twice a year. Yeah, it does. And it does mess it up. And it serves no real purpose any longer. If it ever did. And I don't think it did. People say that it was about, it was to serve the agricultural community. But the agriculture goes in tune with nature itself. It doesn't need our support. Stay in tune to the season. Stay in tune to the day. You'll be fine. Jay says, agreed, Danny. Bugana says, yeah, but at least you have a special one. Sweet 60, that's right, isn't it? I don't think Sweet 60. I don't know. I think it's Sweet 16. 360. At 60, you're old enough to be old, but you're not old enough to collect Social Security. I see no upside to 60 other than being, I can't even chase people off my lawn. I'm not old enough to chase people off my lawn with a garden hose or a rake. I gotta wait a couple more years before that. Amanda says, sorry, not talkative. I'm here with my cat. Oh, I'm sorry, Amanda. Yeah, no need to talk through that. As a matter of fact, Amanda, you know what? I don't want to distract from your presence for your cat. I've been in that situation with dog and parent. Amanda says, Jason saw my cat on live. Danny says, so sorry to hear that, Amanda. As does Big Al, says, sorry that Amanda, sending virtue hugs. Absolutely. Jay says, Amanda, he is poorly, bless him. Danny says, I saw it on your live, but it was very busy. I light a candle. Hey, let's send out a ring of the bell to Amanda and her cat. Very quietly. Jay says, I just had 2 ads, one for a holiday and one for car parts. Crazy, that's my last 2 searches on Google. I can understand. Lucy says, keep it an hour ahead and just leave it there would be nice. Yeah, there you go. Big Al says, oh, poop, sorry, Yogi. So, you're saying I'm not a teenager? For me, you're a teenager. Hey, I can tell you something, in all honesty, Big Al. The next 30 years, if you take care of yourself, watch what you eat. Don't eat too much. Be physically active. It doesn't have to be anything, heavy. Walk, some light lifting. The next 30 years can be wonderful. Lucy says, so sorry, Amanda. Hey, Dale. Dale, how are you? Lucy says, I'm 32. I'm a teenager too. Yes, you are a teenager. Everything you think you know, you don't. You may be convinced that, I'm set on my path, or life's not going to get any better, or this is it, whatever. Everything you think you know, you don't. From 30 to 60, again, embracing that mystery, allowing life to unfold in the miraculous way that it's supposed to. Does it mean it's not going to have some heartache? It's going to have some heartache. Does it mean it's not going to have some physical pain? It's going to have some physical pain. But that's not the end of it. That's not the end of the story. That's not even part of the story. Let's see. Wanhara is here. Hello, my friend. Nice to see you. How are things in New York City? Jay says, I'm also very much a teenager compared to Yogi. You are a teenager compared to me. Big Al says, hi, Anna. Hi, Anna. Anna, how are you? Selena says, hello, Eric. Hello, Selena. Selena says, so to everyone in the chat. I did. I actually read that, Big Al, up above. Big Al says, Yogi, did you say I was at 100 subs? Yep, you still are at 100. Is anyone here not subscribed to Big Al? Let's get him one more to push him over the edge. Big Al says, you look in good shape, Eric. What was your, doing ultra marathons, what was your training like? I ran every day. I did a lot of walking as well. Weekends were my long runs, and I did a lot of back-to-back training runs. When I was training for 100, I would do back-to-back, meaning I would do my last couple weeks before 100, before I tapered. When I finally put it together, right before my 50th birthday, I did 27 miles in the morning. About 4 hours later, I did 24 miles. Saturday or Sunday morning, I did 24 miles in the morning, and I did 27 or 28 in the evening. A lot of walking through the week. I also did strength training every day, and it was usually with the kettlebell, and it was kettlebell get-ups, sometimes called Turkish get-ups, kettlebell swings, some pull-ups, some push-ups. Big Al says, how are you, Anna? Be interesting to see how my training unfolds next few years. Everyone is asking each other how they're doing. See, it says, only the Yogi. Been in my head all day. Anna says, how are you, Yogi? I'm doing good, Anna. Did you guys miss the singing from Jace last night? Jace came on and did his best Roy Orbison, singing Only the Yogi. Sina says, skits hello. Big Al says, I'm all right. Thanks, Anna. All things considered. Yeah, Big Al was in some pain due to gallstones. My mom had trouble with her gallstones. Dale says, that's a lot of volume. I guess it's needed for 100 miles. It depends. Some people get by with less volume. It helped for me to reduce a lot of my running to walking longer distances. And I found that the more I walked, the more my ultra training times actually stabilize. Towards the end of my ultra career, I was almost walking all of my races, and I was literally just as fast, maybe a little bit slower. In the long stuff, I was actually faster because there was no. You start at a certain pace in an ultra, and then you generally get slower as you progress. But with walking, I started at a specific pace, and I stayed there. And then towards the end, I could actually speed up. I passed a whole lot of whole lot of runners who were reduced to walking, and were not happy to see me pass them. I tried to look like I'm sorry that I'm passing you, but in truth, I was pretty happy. I was, in truth, I was gloating a little bit. Jay says, Anna, I'm good. Thanks. Sunny day here. Heading out soon with Zena. Yep, I'm gonna head out soon and take a walk myself. It's still gonna be in the 40s today, but by mid next week we're gonna be hitting the 70s. Springtime in Maryland. Hey, Rob. Rob says, good morning to you, my friend. Jace says, Scoots, have a blessed weekend, bro. Absolutely. Stina says, Amanda, I just read the chat up. I'm sorry to hear about your kitty. Yep, we are sending love to Amanda and her cat. We got some unicorns from Lucy. We're going to wrap things up in a few minutes. Let Jace get out and walk with Zena. I'm going to make some oatmeal. Walk a little bit further this morning. I don't know if Mocha is coming over or not. She's been so busy. And I'm doing my best. It's been stressful. She hasn't been feeling too well, and then taking 6 classes. And I don't want to add my own... issues on top of that. You know what I mean? Cena says, I love the Maryland flag. Always thought it was impressive. It is a nice looking flag. Did you know the Maryland state sport is jousting? I have no idea why. I have never jousted in my entire life. I don't know anyone in the state of Maryland who has ever actually jousted. No family says, on Friday night, hey, what are we going to do this weekend? Hey, let's do some jousting. Let's get together and do some jousting with the neighbors. No one jousts. It's not an actual thing. There's not like weekend jousting tournaments. Big Al says, Selena, forgive my ignorance, but has the hurricane passed yet? If so, glad you're okay. Yeah, she mentioned that. Selena mentioned that yesterday, the cyclone. Hey, Reels and Shorts, how are you? Reels and Shorts says hello. Let's bring your channel up. I know that I'm subscribed to you. I'm absolutely positive that I am. Let's see if I am correct. I'm not. Man, I thought I was. But I am now. It is corrected. So that is fixed, my friend. I am subscribed. Dill says, how would you compare the physique and conditioning and runs of Dean Carnazzi to David Goggins? Which one of your reasons resonates with you the most with? Dean Carnazzi's training resonates the most with me. We've actually talked training quite a bit. As you saw on my Facebook page, I've had a pose down for 3 years in a row with Dean Carnazzi. He said I was a little bit heavier then. Nah, I was a little bit bigger, I think. He said he thought I was bigger, but he was more cut, which is probably an apt description. He loves to cross train, loves to do some kettlebell stuff, does a lot of pull-ups. David Goggins, I like his physique a lot. Dean Carnazzi could be a little, he's very lean, but David Goggins has a little more muscle, looks a little more impressive, but he trains in a punishing sense. seems to me that he uh, physically, emotionally, and mentally, he is punishing himself. I don't know why. Um, and his training reflects that. He's willing to break himself down in order. I don't know why. That doesn't resonate with me. It did at one point in my life, but no longer. Phil says, "Hi, I'm good, sir, but you're quite fast and fluent. Let me slow down. I do have a tendency to talk fast, so I apologize." Celine says, "Big Al, Cyclone is on top of us right now." Jay says, "Selena, did you know I have a child? She is 2 next week, has 4 legs, and hogs, hogs most of the bed." Big Al says, "Fingers crossed for you, Selena. My friend Tiffany, who I met in college, lives on the Gold Coast." Selena says, "Thank you. Prayers, yes, definitely prayers to you, Selena." Anna saying prayers. Selena says, "Kingdale, David scares me with his intensity." Yeah, he does. And he's hurt himself um, quite a bit. People in the ultra community have mixed feelings about him as well. Race directors have mixed feelings about him. Mr. Girl says, "For some reason, I do the same, and uh, it's 200% or nothing." Hey, Mr. Girl. You know what? I think a lot of us do, and I did for a long time. Mr. Girl, just subscribe to you, my friend. Hey, you do some glass blowing. Wow. I always thought that was a amazing, amazing thing. It just seems so fragile, such a fragile art form to get it just right. So I'm just subscribed. I'm really looking forward to exploring your channel, my friend. Clark says he seems to be punishing himself. Um, Also, a lot have said the same about Goggins. I imagine it's some therapy for him. But I do wonder if he pushes too hard, maybe he should have a rest occasionally. I wonder how long the body will withstand that. I have a friend, Tom Green. He's a legend. Lives in my neighborhood. Well, not too far. One village over from me. And he was the very first person to do um, the 4 major ultra marathons, 100 miles, um, the Grand Slam of ultra running. Um, First person. And he doesn't live in the mountains. He lives in Columbia, Maryland. An absolutely amazing feat for someone to do. First person to ever do in a string of just a summer 4 major 100s back to back to back. um, he has done 100-mile. He has done 100-mile races. He's done over 100 of them in his 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and now 70s. Absolutely amazing, and he's come back to some major injuries. But he's not a punishing runner. He doesn't punish himself. I don't know, and I could be wrong, and I hope I am. I don't know that David Goggins is going to be running. It reminds me of Ronnie Coleman, for those who follow bodybuilding. He says he wouldn't do anything differently, but he's largely confined to a wheelchair now. Works out mostly upper body stuff. I don't know he needed to do 900-pound squats to be Mr. Olympia. Arnold Schwarzenegger became Mr. Olympia. I doubt he squatted too much over 400 pounds. Lee Haney, Dorian Yates. Dorian Yates is 2 years older than me. He's 62. Still training. He might be in the best shape of any ex-Mr. Olympia. Overall. Mr. Grill says, I have a concept in my head that if I do everything 100%, I can get used to it. I can then push myself further than most. That's why, Selena. Remember, though, it's a concept. Any concept in your head isn't an absolute truth. It's just a concept. I think 100% some of the time allows you to go 100% some of the time. 100% all the time is eventually going to reduce you to 30% most of the time. Don't ask me to repeat that. I don't think I could, but I stand by that statement if it makes sense. Hey, Miss Flipper. Funny you mention it. I have blown glass too. Actually helping build a little glass blowing glass. Wow, nice. It's such a delicate, fragile art form. It's so beautiful, though. Big Al says, Yogi, you streaming later? I am. 1 o'clock my time. I'm going to love and leave y'all. See you in the next one. Take care, Big Al. Mr. Grill says, no subscribe needed, but thanks very much. Dill says, Selena, Goggins does tend to put some off with his intensity, but maybe it's working for him in some way. Is it, though, if you're often injured, is it the best thing? Hey, Optimub. Optimub, how are you? Rob says, hey, Lucy, do you mind checking out all of my videos? Dill says, I do wonder when Goggins is told to run them miles, how will they cope? I know that's the imaginary future. It might not be too far into the future. This is, it's the same with on the spiritual search. People become addicted to the experience of what they consider to be higher states of consciousness. So they keep seeking, It's a self-perpetuating path. To keep seeking means you never find, ever. Because when you find, you see 100% through the ego, and there's no reason to search any longer. So the ego will never allow you to find because it does not want to perpetuate its own destruction. And it's the same with the physical. You need to keep pushing and pushing and pushing because you have this self-image that to be the best version of myself. But here's the thing, there's no best version of yourself. Because the best is not who you are, it's not a version, and it's not a self. My apologies to Miss Flipper. It is love. Love is not a self. Love is not a concept. Love is. Course in Miracles says that we say love is, and then we quit talking, because anything that follows is just a description. Ram Dass came across that. So did Aldous Huxley in The Doors of Perception, when he wrote that, and he talked about plant medicine, a wonderful tool to reach a higher state of consciousness. But then you got to keep taking more, and you keep taking more, and you keep taking more, and you end up in the same spot every time. So it is a path, and it is a gate. It's a doorway. But it's the doorway to the same room every time. It is not the infinite itself. It's just a glimpse of the infinite. I love how St. Catherine of Siena, I mentioned this earlier, said, the Italian mystic, every step to heaven is heaven. So sometimes, you know what? Running is enough. There's no 100% version of yourself. There's no, some days go out and push. Reach that imaginary limit, but you're never going to reach the limit of who you are because it has no limit. You're infinite. Realize the infinite, and everything you do is the perfect thing to do. Realize the infinite, and sometimes 1,000 reps of burpees is the perfect way to spend the day. Sometimes 100 reps of burpees with an older friend who wants to do some pull-ups as well is the perfect way to spend the day too. Let's see. Did I miss anyone? Dill says, I do believe Goggins has surgery on his shins or knees. Yeah, he said surgery on his knees. Dill says, some also don't like the way Goggins tends to talk down to people. He describes as lazy and civilized. Yeah, David Goggins has his own self-image that he needs to live up to. However, it's just that. It's a self-image. I don't know. Maybe he's going to have his own aha moment and wake up and just think, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. So he says, since we all know I'm the expert in fitness and exercise, just think if you're pushing so hard on your body the way Goggins says, it will have negative long-term side effects on the body. I agree. I do agree. I have pushed really hard, and it hasn't gotten me the same results of knowing when to push hard, when to relax. And even when I'm pushing hard, to know when to relax. Ms. Ripper says, in Kabbalah, there are 50 gates, but even Moses only got through 49. What about Elijah? How many gates did Elijah get through? Because it says Elijah is the only one in the Bible who ascended to heaven, body intact. Hey, poor man, you're up pretty early. What's up? I'm going to have to sign off in just a minute, guys. About 2 minutes. Clark says, another thing Goggins used to do was say self-defeating affirmations to himself. Can they be an affirmation if they're self-defeating? I think it would be a deformation. So instead of positive things, he would say the negative to help himself push harder in training. 50 gates to understanding. Mythbuster says, incidentally, did you see by any chance the messages? I did. I'm going to respond as I'm eating breakfast. It sounds like you had a perfect evening last night, though. Jay says, we return to the ocean. Once more, waves are all variations. Once more, waves are all variations in different shapes and forms. Some look bigger and some remain calmer. We all just waves. Absolutely. Well said, Jace. Beautifully said. Cosmic water, says Miss Flipper. We get rainbows, unicorns, and love from our friend Lucy. Miss Flipper says, I have to inquire further regards Elijah. I know that's who place is set for at Passover. That I didn't know. Clark says, like that, Jace. Very nice. Good one. So you know what? Let's use Jace as an example real quick. There have been times when no one has pushed with more intensity than Jace. There have been times when Jace has realized his limitations and said, for today, that's enough. And there are some times when Jace wants to take it easy. Know your body, know yourself, and you never have to go on anyone else's agenda, even your own. The other day, impromptu, Jason decided to do the Holy Grail, 1,000 reps of burpees. He got to 850 and noticed his neck was starting to ache, starting to lock up a bit. He's had a neck injury due to a motorcycle accident. He was on camera. He could have gritted his teeth and says, no, I said I'm going to get 1,000. I'm going to get 1,000. Neck injury be damned, which would have limited him for the next few weeks, possibly, or longer even. Instead, he said, hey guys, 850 is the end of the journey for today, but not the end of the journey. I'll be back. The next day, he did some reps, took care of himself, smiled, had fun, healed and rested, and he'll be back. April 26th, he'll be doing the Holy Grail. He might even do another one beforehand. There'd be no sense in Jace doing something just to show people, hey, you know, Jace doesn't live up to a story. He has no need to. Jace has already done it all. It's the same with the other people in the burpee community. Hey, Rosie. Rosie, my friend, how are you? Cena says, love that analogy, Jace. Dill says, Goggins would also stick notes in the mirror, but again, instead of positive things, it was also criticism. Sounds brutal. Maybe it helped him his training in a way, but maybe not healthy. But you know what? He could have achieved that and all the more. Training differently and thinking differently. No one reached heaven punishing themselves. No one has ever reached heaven punishing themselves. No one has ever reached enlightenment punishing themselves. The Buddha tried it. It says the Buddha resided on a grain of rice and water for I forget how long, but we're talking years. A very aesthetic lifestyle with the yogis, and he achieved nothing. He reached some higher states of consciousness, but he wasn't awakened. He didn't become the Buddha until he let that go. He allowed himself to take some rice milk from a young maiden and realized the path of the middle way. Punishing yourself was not the way to get to heaven. The way to get to heaven is to love, because love is already present, which means heaven is already present. Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within. You're not going to find it punishing yourself on a 100-mile race. You're not going to find it on 1,000 reps of burpees. You're not going to find it doing kettlebell sport. However, all of those can be paths of surrender in which we surrender all of that effort to the actuality of the experience of love right now. The big awakening from the David Goggins routine is that all of a sudden realize, wow, I didn't have to do any of that. It's all right here, right now. That doesn't mean that you don't return to training hard. Of course you do, if you want to. But it's no longer the driving factor of your life. It's just something that you love to do. Rosie says, I was good and I was all laughing with Amanda. And we were dying of laughter from everything I was saying. But then something happened to her cat. So now I'm crying because she said it might not live. She was here and she mentioned that. So, Rosie, just keep sending out love, keep sending out prayers. Rosie says, how are you, Yogi? I'm okay, Rosie. We're all sending out prayers to Amanda and her kitty. Hi, Carl. Carl says, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, my friend. Cindy says, Jason entertained me with his singing. Jason's a great singer. Dale says, I like the way Jace carries himself. Very genuine with a heart of gold. Like you, Eric, he never resorts to negativity, always calm. Jace is very calm. Miss Pippa says, Jace the ace. I like that. Jace is one of a kind. Dale says, do you have any idea how the way Dean Carnazzi trains these days? He does a lot of adventures. He makes his training into adventure. He will head out running with, I believe, just his debit card, his ATM card. water, and set out for an adventure, not knowing how far he's going to go, where he's going to go, and he'll just go out. He's famous for he'll order pizza, and he'll ask for it not cut, uncut, and he'll roll it up, and he'll just run and eat as he's going, making a complete mess of himself. He does a lot of not CrossFit, but he'll do like some battle rope stuff. He'll do some kettlebell stuff, some interval training. But it's all fun. He doesn't punish himself. I like Dean. Dean's a good guy. Here's the thing about Dean. I guess I met him in 2010 when I did my first 50-mile race, and we chatted. We chatted about training. We talked about diet. He was like, "Oh wow, it's great. You're vegan." Said he couldn't do it because he lives in Northern California. Says he loves that freshwater fish too much. He loves salmon, halibut. So we talked a bit about diet. The next year, I did the same race, but that year I only did a 50K because I was training for a 100-mile race. And he said, when I shook his hand, "Are you still a vegan?" Like out of the blue. You know how many people he meets per year in races and promotion for North Face? So, "Are you still a vegan? How's the diet going? You're looking good. How's the training going? Did you do the 50 or did you do the 50K?" The next year, same race, another 50K for me. And Dean called me over. "Hey, Eric, come on over. How's the training going? You're still looking big. Let's have our annual pose down together." I don't know too many runners who meet as many people as Dean who would do that. I'll tell you one more story. Scott Jurek, another vegan, by the way. Hey, Mark, Gravity Core Fitness is here, our good friend. Hey, all in the chat. Hey, Mark, I love the shorts you and Joe are putting out. I love seeing the training that you guys are doing. I hope you guys, Miss Pippa says, Jason's a great singer. He is a good singer. He is a great singer because he sings with love. I hope you guys go and hang out with Gravity Core Fitness when they are in the pub, hanging out, alcohol free, having fun, happy banter. It really is happy banter. And then you'll see them in the gym, and you will see every side to actual fitness, from the emotional to the spiritual to the physical. You will see true fitness and emotional well-being. They show you how to do it, guys. Miss Pippa says, "Oh, kettlebells." Oops, I call them kettleballs. Forgive me. That's okay. I've heard kettlebells, kettlebells. I've heard them all. So, Scott Jurek, in his heyday, hey, Nightmare, he would win a race. And he would get his buckle, even if he set a record, a world record, a course record. He would get his buckle, he'd get some food, he'd get a chair, and he would sit at the finish line and wait until the very last runner would cross the finish line. And that might actually be 15 hours after he finished, or longer. And he would wait and he would greet everyone with the same enthusiasm. How is that for humble, guys? Bill says, so I guess the way Dean trains is a bit different than Goggins. Like you said, I believe Goggins does more weights. Many don't like Dean. They say he doesn't deserve the credit that others do. Hey, he's placed in Badwater. He's come in the top 10 in Western states for like years in a row. He's finished Hardwater. He's finished Leadville, all in the top 10. And he's still racing and going strong now. Someone will always, someone will always tear down what you do, no matter what it is. Rosie says, Celine, I'll be back. Amanda's, it's okay. I'm going to go check on her. I can't leave her by herself, and I'll join back here. We'll be ending in a bit. If everyone wants to go hang out and we can send some love to Amanda. Selena says, Amanda, I love you. I'm sorry about your kitty. Absolutely. Cattle balls is funny. Cattle balls is funny. Selena says, I don't drink, so that's good. I'll check out Gravity Core Fitness. Subscribe to you. Awesome. I've not heard Moonballs yet. All right, guys, we're going to wrap things up. Sandy says, hey, I'm sorry I was on live yesterday. I was hungover. It's okay, Sandy. Hey, you had your 21st birthday. I'm going to tell you something. On your 21st birthday, you're supposed to be hungover. I am subscribed to you, Sandy. Happy birthday. Happy 21st. I hope you had a really good time. I'm glad that you are home, safe and sound. Dill says, do you believe Dean's story on his 30th birthday? He had an epiphany. If you like, he realized he wasn't where he wanted to be and felt the urge to run. Yes, I do. I do. I've had similar epiphanies. Carl says, don't know who Dean is. He's an ultra runner. Miss Pippa says, Jace called him that. Moonballs. Dill says, happy birthday, Sandy. Miss Pippa says, happy birthday, Sandy. All right, guys. I need to wrap things up so I can get outside and get my walk in. I might try to do a 10-minute kettlebell set. Clark says, or Dean says, Dill says, I'm sorry, guys. Yes, Dean is still going strong. I imagine his mileage is going down a bit, down a tad. I don't know. I don't think he was ever a super high mileage guy, but he does. Like I said, it's all an adventure for him. He's a happy runner. Jay says, "Can you do it outside?" No. You want to minimize distractions. It's a very, very mental. You gotta. Last thing you want is to be your rest position is in the rack. The last thing you want is a fly on your nose and you're unable to chase it away, or you don't want a breeze to swing by and cool you down. Everything has to be perfectly on point, on focus. 10 minutes of a definite meditative state in order to finish the 10 minutes. Any one thing, even just like a breath gone astray. One bad rep and there's no recovery. There's no coming back. You got to put the kettlebells down. Carl says, goodbye everyone out here. Have a good day, Carl. Seen this, thank you, Yogi Eric. Hey guys, if you think of it, maybe we could head over to Lucy's and just, even if you just put an emoji to let her know that we are there for her. Again, I have been there for pet and for parent, and it's not easy. Carl says shutting down social media now down for 5 hours. I can understand that. Let's see. Lucy says later. Eric, did I say Lucy? Are you let's see. Well, anyway, show up for everyone. Show up for everyone. I meant Amanda. I did mean Amanda. Sorry if I said Lucy. I confused myself. So, if we can head over to Amanda's, just, again, even if you just drop an emoji. It's Amanda. Sorry, guys. Amanda says, did you mean someone else? I did. I meant Amanda. Doesn't mean Yogi is trolling again. Trolling myself and my mental slips. I can't drop a link because it would just come back to my channel. If you scroll up towards the top, Selena's laughing. I am hungry. if you head up toward the top, you'll see Amanda, and you can click on her link. Lucy says, I got confused. Well, I didn't get confused. I was confused. This says Yogi has the oatmeal vibe going on. I do. So, yep, as I said, if I clicked on Amanda, if I tried to post Amanda's link, it would just lead you back to my channel. But she is right up above at the very top. Selena says, I knew it. So let's just show a little bit of love, guys. Hey, Emily. Emily says, hello, it's Emily. Hey, Michael. Michael says, hello, friend. Hello, Michael. Emily, it's nice to see you. Michael, it's nice to see you too. Michael says, how you doing? We're doing good. We're shutting things down. Breakfast time for me, and we're going to visit a friend who's going through a tough time. Jay says, I got to run. Me too. Guys, I'm going to see you all later. Take care. I'm doing good, Michael. I'm doing good. Thanks, guys. I'm going to see everyone later. Emily says, nice to see you, Yogi. It's nice to see you too, Emily. Thank you for coming in. Gravity says, see you guys. Mark, I'll be looking for you later. Cena says, Yogi, love. Love from Lucy. Thanks, guys. Take care.